And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. The U.S. Justice Department has filed an antitrust lawsuit against Visa. Visa, you know, you use that on your credit cards and your debit cards. It alleges Visa uses its size and dominance to stifle, hold back competition in the debit card market, costing consumers and business billions of dollars. Now, the complaint alleges Visa penalizes merchants and banks who don't use its own payment processing technology to process debit transactions, even though alternatives exist.
Merchants and banks pass along those costs to consumers, either by raising prices or reducing quality or service. As a result, Visa's unlawful conduct affects not just the price of one thing, but the price of nearly everything.
Oh, hell, if you got Merrick Garland's on your ass, you're in trouble. Now, Visa earns an incremental fee from every transaction process on its network. According to the DOJ, 60% of debit transactions in the United States run on Visa's debit network, allowing it to charge over $7 billion in fees each year for processing those transactions. Joining us to talk about this is CPA and attorney Lucy Petrie. Glad to have you here on The Factor. Break this down for us. As a consumer, why should we care about what Visa's doing?
Yeah, so there's a whole world of financial processing that we don't see as a consumer. But for every transaction that we use a credit card, the merchant, the person selling the goods or services, is paying between 2 and 4% for the privilege of using a credit card.
That's why they try at some convenience stores and some gas stations, they say minimum payment $5. Otherwise, you can't use your debit, your Visa, or your MasterCard here.
Yeah, so we can also see sometimes the price in cash and the price using the debit card or the credit card. I've seen it at grocery stores. I've seen it at gas stations, convenience stores. They are trying to give you a discount for not using the credit card so they can save a little money. Now, I mean, 4% might not seem like a lot, but they made $7 billion last year. My goodness, it really adds up.
That adds up.
Yeah, and we already have limited choice, right? We only have a MasterCard, Visa, American Express, and that Discovery. So we don't have a lot of choices as a consumer. And Visa is trying to make it even more difficult for us to use other credit cards.
And so where did they break the law? Break that down for us, according to the U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland. Where did they go too far? Where did they cross the line?
Yeah, they were forcing merchants to use their processing systems, and they were even paying the competition to not make it available, the other credit cards for the merchants. They were forcing also other merchants to use their own system to process the credit card sales.
So it's almost manipulation and monopoly as well.
Exactly. They're trying to keep all of the processing on Visa and disincentivize merchants from using the other or accepting other credit cards. We already see very little of American Express, for example, or Discovery. I don't see a lot of merchants that take those.
Yeah, I run into that problem when I bring American. They're like, we don't take that, sorry.
Right.
Move on.
It costs a lot more for the merchant to take American Express.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
The fees are higher, yeah.
And so what's the trickle-down effect to us in our pockets as individuals? Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to see any changes anytime soon. There may be a class action lawsuit. Maybe we'll get a $5 check, but I don't expect us to see any changes.
$5 checks add up.
And this lawsuit's going to take years to resolve, so I don't expect us to see any changes. The good news is we do have a lot more choices and options than we used to. We have Zelle, we have Cash App. We're getting more technology that allows us to choose how we pay. But yeah, Visa.
And now, like if you go to stores, you can see an option for pay now, buy now, pay later. The Klarnas, the Affirms that are on.
Yeah. The terminal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the terminal.
Credit card
we're
terminal.
Getting more, and Apple Pay is another one.
Google Pay?
Google Pay. If you forget your wallet, you can pay with your phone. I've even seen like this thing where you pay with your hand at Whole Foods. that freaked me out a little bit. But yeah,
I
apparently
don't
it's a
see
fake.
who clean. All right. Lucy Petrie, CPA and attorney, thank you for joining us and always clarifying and making everything clear to us here on The Factor.